Okay, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, most merciful. Hello and welcome to a new episode of Teaching English on Dروس Mega Goal 3. Okay, as usual, let's start by reviewing our plan for our class today. First, we're going to introduce the class of today, which is Ecotourism, reading passage. And we'll take this reading passage, we'll start with introducing vocabulary. And then we're going to review some new vocabulary from this reading passage, about 15 words. And after that, we're going to do exercise A, which is on page 39, exercise A. And after that, we're going to review or revise some irregular verbs. Okay? As you know now, we are at step number 7. We are in the middle of this unit, the vocabulary building. And you know, as always, 7 vocabulary building precedes the reading passage. Why? Because it is very important to understand to understand the passage, to know as much vocabulary as you can. So today in this class we are going to make it as an introduction to the reading passage, which is titled by Ecotourism. What ecotourism is, you will find out from the coming slides, inshallah. Okay, now we are at step number 7 in the middle of this unit, which is called vocabulary building. Now, as usual, as always, you need to scan this QR to download all the materials needed for this class from Ain website. Okay. Now look at this word. Okay, it is ecotourism. Ecotourism. What does ecotourism mean? Ecotourism is, we can divide the word into 2 sections because you have a prefix and you have the affix here. If you say tourism, tourism means السياحة in general. But if you add eco, which is an abbreviation for ecology, that is البيئة أو حماية البيئة, it is called ecotourism, a kind of tourism which is going as a trend these days in the world. See the world while saving it. You go touring and you see the world and you see it while you are saving it. You're taking care of it. You educate people also how to be wise enough to protect the environment and to protect the natural resources of the world. Okay, now look at these pictures and check if you can see beauty or not. If you can see some beauty in these pictures, that means you are going green. What does going green means? Going green means you have the ability or the desire to protect the environment, to protect the planet in general. So here it says here, don't disturb animals, okay? Don't disturb plants, don't disturb their natural habitats. That means their homes and their natural resources to eat and to drink and to make nests and to breed in general. Yani. Okay, now look at these pictures and you can see something as beautiful. Here we can see a beautiful scene, and here we have we see an animal that needs to be alive. Okay, that this animal needs to be protected, and we see our wildlife committee in Saudi Arabia here, how much they pay attention and how they start educating people to protect the environment and to protect the natural resources in general. Okay, look at here. Also, we have this kind of animal. It's called ornix, and it is about to extinct. But walillah alhamd, the government and the committees are trying to make sanctuaries to make it breeding and to make it not to extinct. Okay, look at also the sea here needs to be protected, and also. Ecology also in general, الآثار also needs to be protected as well, and this is part of ecotourism. Okay, this is called oryx. Also, it is threatened to be extinct, and this also some animals in Saudi Arabia that are about to extinct also, and they need to be protected. Okay, what can you see from here? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَكُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا وَلَا تُسْرِفُوا إِنَّهُ لَا يُحِبُّ الْمُسْرِفِينَ. I can't comment actually. You can see here, and it's يعني, it gives us pain if you see this kind of hunting. Okay. Now let's go to the definition of ecotourism. What is ecotourism? To start learning about the vocabulary of this lesson, of the vocabulary of this reading passage. Ecotourism, we can define it as a responsible travel to natural areas that conserve the environment, sustains the well-being of the local people, and involves interpretation and education. So if you go ecotourism, that means you are playing a very good role in protecting the planet and protecting the natural resources in general. Okay? Now, to honor ecotourism, to be a good person, you need to remove your trash anywhere you go. This is number one. And everybody, alhamdulillah, does that because he was wise enough and he is educated enough, or she is also educated enough to remove your trash wherever you go. This is number one, which is very important. Number two, you need to respect local traditions and etiquette. When you have different culture, when you have different traditions than yours, you need to respect it. And this is a rule of life. If you are educated and if you are wise enough, you need to protect or to respect the other cultures. Okay? And this is part of ecotourism as well. Number three, follow these designated trails. If you are in, for example, a garden or in natural places or like what we can see in Rodat after rain, you need to follow the designated trails. Don't go on the grass. You need, if there is a trail, you need to follow this trail. And this is very important to be honored by ecotourism. So number three, follow the designated trail. Don't go on grass. This is very important as well. Okay, now let's review the vocabulary of this unit one by one. As usual, we're going to give you the picture, the part of speech, and the definition. Also, we give the word, and we give also the example of this word in a sentence. And this sentence is taken from the text as well. Okay, number one, here we can see something, a beautiful scene. Okay, it's an adjective. We can describe it as stunning. The scene here is beautiful. We call it stunning. What's the stunning means? Stunning means extremely beautiful or attractive. If you say extremely beautiful or attractive, it is stunning. How can we find it in the passage and how is it written? How was it contextualized? We can say the view is stunning. You describe the view here as stunning. Okay, next. This is a very beautiful scene also. It's an adjective, pristine. We call it pristine. What does pristine mean? Original and pure. You see how beautiful and how clean the beach is. We can say here original and pure, not spoiled or worn from use. Okay, like the word that we studied and listened and discussed. If you can remember, you can describe it also as undisturbed scene, or you can say pristine scene. I wish I was relaxing on pristine beach instead of working. Okay, so pristine beach, this is the pristine beach. It is very good for relaxing and it is enjoyable also. Look at here also we have this picture which means preserve, okay, which indicates preserve. What's the meaning of the preserve? It's a verb, فعل. We can say to keep something as it is in order to prevent it from being damaged or destroyed. Recycling, by recycling, you know what recycling is? إعادة التدوير. We can say by recycling you help to preserve the environment. Okay? And here community. The local community or the community means الجماعة or المجتمع. How do you define it? You say the people living in a particular area. We call it community. You can enjoy ecotourism and support local communities at the same time. If you go ecotourism, in ecotourism, that means you are going to support or to preserve the natural resources, and also you're going to help the local communities because you're doing something good, something helps the local community to live a better life. Okay, industry. What's the meaning of industry? Industry means صناعة. So how can you say it in English? You say the people and activities involved in one type of business. How do you find it in the passage? We say ecotourism is the fastest growing trend in the travel industry. Okay, unheard of. Unheard of. This is an adjective, صفة, and it means previously unknown. ecotourism was almost unheard of before 1990s. Before 1990s, nobody knows about ecotourism. But after that, countries and people started to work on ecotourism. Okay? Characteristic. What is the meaning of characteristic? A typical or noticeable quality of someone or something. خصائص لشخص معين أو لشيء معين. We call it characteristics. Okay? Now, traveling to natural destinations is a prominent characteristic of ecotourism. What is ecotourism? It is one of the characteristics of tourism. Ecotourism is traveling to natural destinations. Okay? Remote. Remote. What's remote? Remote means far away in distance. If you know the word remote as a noun, which is the device that you can use to change from distance to change devices. But here it is an adjective. صفة. What does it mean? Far away in distance. بعيد. It involves travel to, that means ecotourism. We mean by it ecotourism. Ecotourism involves travel to natural remote destinations. Okay, conservation. What is conservation mean? Conservation means that the protection of plants and animals, natural areas from the damaging effects of human activity. To protect the natural resources, we call conservation. Look at this sentence here. Ecotourism focuses on wildlife and water conservation. The most important thing in our life that is water. So ecotourism focuses on wildlife and water. These are the two important things in ecotourism: wildlife, الحياة البرية, and water. Okay, and you know how important the water is. Awareness. Awareness. Aware is an adjective. When you want to make it a noun, you add this suffix. We say awareness. Knowledge that something exists or subject at present time based on information or experience. الوعي. Look at the example. Environmental awareness has increased dramatically over the past decade. ولله الحمد. Especially here in our country, people started to realize how important the natural resources are, and they started to be educated, to learn, and to be wise enough to protect it and to be good citizens. Okay, reduction. Reduction is a noun taken from the verb reduce. If you know the verb reduce, reduction is the noun of the verb reduce. The act of making something smaller, أقل أو أصغر, smaller in size or an amount or in degree or importance. Reduction. That's reduction. تقليل. Now we are talking about a country that is leading in the ecotourism industry, which is Costa Rica. Okay, Costa Rica had a dramatic reduction in deforestation. What is deforestation? You'll find it later on, inshallah. Renewable energy. Energy الطاقة. Okay, renewable means able to be renewed and to be generated and to be done. That is the energy that is produced using the sun. Okay, to use the sun to make energy, to use the wind, like what you can see here in the picture. Okay, etc. Or from crops, you can take the energy also from crops من المحاصيل, rather than using fuels such as oil or coal. If you use fuel that is not an environment friend, you know, fuel is usually has burning, and it will have a bad effect on the planet in general and on the environment. Ecotourism destinations focus on using renewable energy sources. Okay, like الطاقة الشمسية, for example, the solar energy is considered as renewable energy because it doesn't depend on burning like fuels or coals. Okay, incentive. The word is incentive. What does it mean? It means something that encourages a person to do something. Incentive means حافز. Okay, ecotourism provides an economic incentive to raise money. In addition to protecting the environment, also ecotourism provides economic incentive to raise money. Also, it helps countries to raise money and to protect the environment as well. Okay, financial. What's financial mean? Financial means relating to money or how money is managed. This is called financial. Look at the example here. Ecotourism creates financial opportunities and jobs for the local population. You see, this is another good effect of ecotourism, which is creating financial opportunities, فرص مالية and jobs for the local population, for the local community. Now here we are talking about deforestation. You see here, this is what deforestation means. To understand the word better, you can divide it into, let's say, 3 sections here. The word, the first, or the main part of this word is, as you can see here, forest. Okay, what does forest mean? You know what forest means? غابة. Okay, and if you want to make it a verb, you can say forest also, and you add tion to make it a noun. D is a prefix. We use it sometimes to mean the opposite of this word, or to make less. Like if you say deforestation means الاحتطاب أو قتل تدمير الغابات. So that is called deforestation. Now look at the definition of this word: the cutting down of trees in large areas, or the destruction of forests by people. Some countries destroyed forests. Why? Because they want to make factories, or they want to make buildings, or they want sometimes to get use of the wood of this forest. Okay, so this is called deforestation, and this is very dangerous on the planet in general. So deforestation is destroying large areas of tropical rain forest. Okay. Now we go to this country, which is called Costa Rica. What is Costa Rica? A country in Central America. Why we are talking about Costa Rica? Because it was mentioned in this passage that it is leading in this activity, which is called ecotourism. Costa Rica was one of the first ecotourism success stories. So in this passage that we're going to study, inshallah, in the next class, we'll read about their experience in this activity, or this industry, which is called ecotourism industry. Okay, now we are coming to the question, which is going to be on page 39 in your student's book. You need to know these words, okay? Pristine, preserve, conservation, incentive, deforestation, characteristics, remote, reduction, and lush. These are the words that need to be matched with their definitions. Before we go to the next slide, look at the instructions here. He says you will see these words in the reading passage on page 40 and 41. Match the words with their meanings. Now we mentioned these words a while ago in our slides when we introduced the vocabulary. Now you need to answer this exercise. Okay, look at this exercise. Number 1, pristine. Pristine, what does pristine mean? It means here not spoiled. مكان undisturbed also. لم يأتي أحد من قبل. So we call it pristine. Number 2, preserve. If, okay, what does preserve mean here? To keep. Here you can say like this. Okay, to keep safe from injury, harm, or destruction. Number 3, conservation. What does conservation mean? Conservation, we go to E here. Okay, careful protection of something. Okay, that's conservation. What about incentive? What's the meaning of incentive? Incentive is C, as you can see here, something that causes a person to act. Okay, دافع, حافز. Number 5, deforestation, the one we talked about a while ago. It is A. Deforestation, the action of cutting down trees to clear forests for many purposes. Number 6, here we can say characteristics. Here it goes to be distinguishing traits of or qualities. To distinguish traits, الخصائص أو الصفات and qualities of somebody or something also. Okay, and number 7 here, remote. It goes here to H, geographically isolated. Okay, remote, that means very far away, or geographical isolated from the place, or from distance. Number 8, reduction. Reduction is G, lessing, or we can say diminishing also. Okay, number 9, the last one, lush. What does lush mean? Lush is, as you can see here, abundantly green or fertile. That is mean lush. Okay, now we move to the irregular verbs as the last part of our class today. Look at this verb here. He's throwing something. So how can we say the word in the present continuous in describing the picture? We say he is throwing. The word is throw, and the past is threw, and the past participle is thrown. The other word, as you can see here, wake up. What's the past of wake up? Woke up, and the past participle is woken up. Next, wear, يلبس, as you can see here. What's the past of wear? Wore, and the past participle is worn. Next, win, يفوز. The past, we say won, and the past participle is won as well. Next, the last verb is write. Look at the boy here, he is writing. So we use it in the present. We use it in the past, we say wrote. When we use it in the past participle, we say written. So he's writing. Oh, every day he writes. In the past, we say he wrote. And in the past participle, we can say he has written the article, or he has written his essay. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you very much, and see you inshallah in the next episode. Goodbye.